Oh man, I went over the doors with just Armor All. The wipies were so dirty. And I thought I just went over this with Armor All not that long ago. It's amazing how fast things get dirty. I also learned that I hate the way animals get hair all over the seats, but I was taking my hair off my sweater. You'd be amazed how much was on there. The guy shed like an animal. I don't know. I think maybe the dogs are more polite than me. See, that's what happens when you're like, I don't complain, but like when you're giving rides back to back to back, it kind of sucks because you're not legally allowed to say no. So if you say no to the ride, it's because you were going to say no to any ride because, like, you need to go take a bathroom break or something. Otherwise, you're not. You have to always take a ride with a dog because you don't know whether it's a service or emotional animal. And, boy, some of these animals can get hair everywhere in, like, 2 seconds. And you're like, oh, I have to go quicker again. But then you look down at your sweater and like, but who are you to complain? Look at this crap. There is hair everywhere. But I thought, well, at least I armor-alled it, so it has Armor All. I Lysoled things earlier this morning. Somebody reminded me to put some Black Frost. So actually the car's pretty nice. And I'm sitting there going, why am I so productive today? And I look around, and there's a bunch of husbands reminding me of everything I need to remember. Until some nice person reminded me of the Black Frost on the chair. And it did smell pretty. Overwhelming, but it smelled pretty. And I thought, well, I'm going to make a video, though, because like I wanted to talk about... I want to talk honestly to wives. Because I was looking at this man, and he was in some kind of Olympics or race. And he was disabled, walking in his race, trying to win. And he reminded me of a husband. So I have this husband. And I helped him to win at monumental competitions, disabled. It made me have an outlet while I thought about so many sad victims altered by the United States and Dubai. I needed some kind of some outlet that reminds me, or alternative mentality that reminds me that when I get there, I'm gonna save the world if they really wanted to be saved. But like, you know, it sucked back when, because I've been using my little to nothing or whatever powers I had to help him win at these races to be kind of symbolic of the fact that those poor victims of the United States and Dubai can go through anything because God's here and they can still be amazing or end up anything by the end. You know, but you got to rely on God because they are very scary. But like, it is possible because God's here. And I thought, I'm going to make a video and talk to wives everywhere. Do you guys ever want to leave them disabled? Do you ever have the temptation to keep your husband disabled? Because, like, the way he walks, it's magical. And that is husband. The way the children are, that's daddy. It's magical. And you have that moment where you're like, oh my gosh, I could talk to God about how my husband won't be disabled no more. Or I could sit here and be like, wow, my disabled husband's going to be somebody else. And that's the husband and the daddy we know. But then you're like, but I bet he'd want to maybe be a long distance swimmer and his legs don't work good. And what kind of God or wife would you be? And what kind of child would you be if you didn't want daddy to fly or swim or anything he wanted? But like, I just thought, you know, this is a fun topic. I bet a lot of wives, maybe some kids, but a lot of wives would probably chime into my queen, and be like, yeah, the temptation of greed and selfishness. Because when your husband's disabled too, you have them all to yourself. And like you get to hold them like a baby, help them do things. And the selfish part of you wants to keep them a little baby you can keep to yourself forever. But like, it's not right. But you have that inside of you. And mine's not this most selfish mentality. It's more like I've always loved my husband for who he is. And it's really weird to know that he'll be somebody else. And the babies are so in love with Daddy for who he is. And it'll be weird to see him as somebody else. But like, we're a good family. We would still want him to fly. But like, I don't know. I thought, well, I'm making a video to ask people about this. The fun of being God is that God's love honesty. We can ask anything about anything and tell you the answer to anything because God's are just honest. Yeah, I have a husband that's disabled. And I wanted him to come here in front of those poor, broken people created by the United States and by sickos. And I want my husband to transform in front of everybody as like a big moment where they're all inspired. But I just wanted to have that moment of selfishness and have an honest talk with people. Nobody ever talks about certain topics. You know, nobody walks into the group therapy and tells the truth. Group therapy, people just say what they know everybody wants to hear. Every now and then when you meet with a therapist in secret, you can tell the truth. But like then only the therapist and you got to actually enjoy the reality of pure truth. So I thought, well, screw it. I'm going to leave this video and see how many people my queen talk about these kind of topics.